What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to episode 13 of the On Deck Sports Podcast. I'm your host, James Torillo, and this week I am here with Cody Pearson and Nick Volpe. No Dylan this week. Shame on him because
party too hard.
His favorite team just won the Super Bowl.
As Cody was saying earlier, party too hard.
Party too hard.
His favorite team just won the Super Bowl, so he picked a bad week to miss the podcast. I know he would definitely be here in his Eagles jersey like he is pretty much every week.
Yeah.
But yeah, no Dylan this week, just the three of us. I think it's the first time it's just the three of us, right?
Yeah.
I think we've had just you and me before, right, Nick?
I was in that studio.
And we've had me, Cody, and Dylan.
Yep.
We've never had me, Cody, and Nick.
Then we had me, you, and Tyler.
That's true. We did.
Oh, there you go.
We'll get Tyler back on here soon. He's more of a baseball guy, so we will definitely have him on here as spring training is coming up. Pitchers and catchers are reporting. And baseball season is only like a month away. So we have the series in Japan with the Dodgers and the Cubs. The Dodgers announced that Yamamoto and Roki Sasaki will be starting those two games, so that's hype. Imanaga is going to be starting for the Cubs, so that's going to be fun. But I think the main thing we have to talk about, Nick and I are dreading this, but we do have to talk about the Super Bowl. We are a sports podcast, so we should probably talk about how the Eagles are Super Bowl champions. Thoughts, guys?
I mean, Philly they just outclassed them the whole time.
Yeah.
They were just
Beat him in the trenches.
Beat him in the trenches.
Where it mattered most.
We were debating turning the game off in the third quarter, Nick.
Yeah.
I don't think
They were. I was not.
yeah.
No, successful hate watch for Cody.
It was a hate watch for all of us. Cody was hating on the Chiefs.
Because they're
Nick and I
bombs.
hating on the Eagles. Successful hate watch for Cody, not so much for Nick and I, but
No, it was rough. It was
Man.
one of those Super Bowls that I could say it sucked, but because it was just not a good game. It was like over before it even started. It felt like
right.
after Gene got the pick six, it was like this game's over. But it's like even though the Eagles beat the Patriots, it was 7-8 years ago.
That was Super Bowl 52, so 7 years ago.
That was a great game.
Yes,
I
that
could
was
sit
a
here.
good game.
I could sit here and say we watched that game, and honestly, I was okay. Honestly, I wasn't too pissed off that the Eagles won that game. It was a great game. It wasn't over from the beginning. Nick Foles came in, backup, he played his heart out.
a sick game
400
for sure.
yards, 3 touchdowns, or whatever it was.
Yeah, I think Brady broke the record for the most passing yards in a Super Bowl, and he lost
They had
to Nick Foles.
and they had the most yards in a Super Bowl ever.
Yeah,
It was like 1,000 something. It was crazy.
yeah.
The Eagles don't lose when Carson Wentz is on the bench.
No,
Yeah.
that's true.
Dude, I wanted so badly for like the Chiefs to blow them out, and then Carson Wentz goes in late in the game. You know how pissed Eagle fans would be if Carson Wentz like took a knee to win the game.
I would have been
against
pissed.
the Eagles?
Instead, it was Kenny Pickett.
Dude, yeah, I feel bad for Braden, one of our guys here at On Deck Sports. He helps out with the TikTok and posting clips for you guys to watch. He's a huge Pittsburgh sports fan. He's a Steelers fan, and so for him, he at least got to see his boy Kenny Pickett.
He's a Pirates fan too, right?
Yeah, he's all Pittsburgh and then the Celtics because there's no Pittsburgh basketball team, and he's Irish. So, yeah. So, Jalen Hurts, Super Bowl MVP. I think this was a very unpredictable Super Bowl because I think even if you're someone who didn't care who won, most people had the Chiefs just because they're the reigning back-to-back champions, and it's getting to the point where it was like with Brady and the Patriots. You don't bet against them because if you bet against them, even if you're right, people are going to be like, why would you bet against Tom Brady? It's the same thing now. Why would you bet against Patrick Mahomes? Yeah. I don't think anyone could have predicted that the Eagles were going to blow them out except Vinny.
I was calling him a moron. I was like, you could say the Eagles win. I could believe that. But then blowing him out, I was like, are you fucking nuts? And they blew him out.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And I looked like an idiot. Fair enough.
We were watching the Flyers that one day, and you were saying that Vinny, one of the guys in our wiffle ball league, he was saying, the Eagles are going to blow him out. And we're figuring, okay, he's an Eagles fan. Like even Tyler was there watching the Flyers with us, and who's an Eagles fan, and he was like, we're not going to blow them out. Like, that's ridiculous. 24-0 at halftime, then, I think I said something to you. I was like, I guess Vinny was right. Like,
yeah, Vinny was 100% right.
When did you guys know that game was over?
I felt like the Divisional pick six was kind of it. And then the Bond one was just like...
Yeah, the Bond one. That's what I was going to say. The Bond, after he threw that second interception, it felt like...
I remember texting Braden. It was 17-0, and the Eagles had just punted inside like the 5-yard line of the Chiefs. And I texted Braden and I said they need to make this a 2-score game at halftime. And even if it's 17-3, they go down here
points.
and
You
get
the ball.
points. They get
Yeah.
a little bit of momentum.
Yeah.
They get the ball to start second half. They get points. 2-score game. You got a game at least.
Yeah.
First play, interception.
Yeah.
And then the Eagles score with A.J. Brown before the half. It's 24-0 at halftime. At that point, it's like, okay.
I think the Chiefs got the ball back one more time, right? They
Chiefs.
They went 3 and out, right?
The Chiefs then got the ball again with a little bit of time left in the first half, but weren't able to do anything with it. And I think the Eagles got the ball with like 20-something seconds. They ran the ball once. Clock ran out, and that was half. And
No point turning it over there when you have all the momentum going in.
Yeah. And then halftime comes around, and Cody, you're a Kendrick Lamar fan, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
The whole thing I've seen on TikTok or wherever, the whole thing of him saying "Say Drake" and then smiling,
Yeah. That was
was
funny.
crazy. And I can't imagine,
Good
like,
one.
imagine being like Drake, and you're sitting at home just watching the Super Bowl with your family, whatever, and then the halftime show comes on, and you're just getting dissed, and like Serena Williams is like dancing out there, and
yeah.
Samuel L. Jackson was
Yeah,
Uncle Sam.
yeah.
I was like,
The only guy who had it worse than Patrick Mahomes.
yeah,
Drake.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could definitely make a case for that. Like, imagine that was you. You're just sitting watching the Super Bowl, and then someone just like goes out there and starts like dissing
Dancing
Cody
on your
Pearson.
grave. Yeah,
Like,
dancing on your
Cody
grave.
Pearson, I hate you. Like, imagine that. Like, that'd be
Cody,
nuts.
Cody, you saw the train that the chain that he was wearing. It was like it was an A minor. That was
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't get
yeah,
that.
That was
I saw him wearing that, and I was like, why is he wearing a lowercase a? His name's Kendrick. Doesn't start with an A. Like, I was like, maybe that's like. I know nothing about rap, by the way, so I didn't know if that was like maybe his real name started with an A. I don't know, but like I didn't get it, so I was very confused. But that's crazy.
yeah, that was nuts.
And there were several things he said like into the mic where he was like hinting at the song "They Not Like
Before-
Us."
Before he
And-
actually sang it.
Yeah, and then the girls in the back were like, "You really about to do it?" And then he did, and that was crazy. But then the second half comes around, and you have the Eagles kick a field goal. It's 27-0. Chiefs don't score again, and I think it had to have crossed everybody's minds when it was like 27-0, or even at halftime we were talking about it. We were like, they're down 24. Brady was down 25. If Mahomes wants to prove he's a GOAT, this is the time.
Yeah, this is it.
And then I think it wasn't even Mahomes. Just I think it just shows how insane that Patriots team was, especially Tom Brady, because they were down 25 with 3 minutes left in the third, like a few minutes left in the third quarter, and they ended up coming back and winning that game in overtime. The Chiefs had a whole half, and they ended up still losing by 18. I mean, that just goes to prove how insane that Patriots dynasty was, and how hard it is to have a dynasty in sports, especially football. That's one of the hardest to have a dynasty in, because you could have one bad week come playoff time and you're done. Look at the Lions. They were 15-2, and they had one bad game. Goff threw 3 picks.
This was Detroit's year, so injuries.
I agree.
Injuries was the end of it.
I agree.
They lost their coordinators are gone. Ben's gone. Glenn's gone.
They're still going to be a very good team, but it's very hard to go 15-2.
Yeah.
And it's
Was it how many? Like 20 people in IR.
Yeah.
Or whatever it was, some crazy number like that.
they were still 15-2, and they still put up 31 points in that playoff game,
Yeah.
and they still kind of got blown out.
Yeah.
So got to give the Commanders credit. And
Jaden Daniels is gonna run the league in a few years. If they get a team
Maybe.
around him, I'm worried.
Yeah,
I would be too if
team's,
I were in their division. Absolutely.
Besides him, that team's getting pretty old though, so they'll have to get.
That's
some
what
new
Dylan
guys.
was saying. But if your quarterback's a rookie and you were just in the NFC Championship, I'm not worried about guys like Bobby Wagner retiring. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
that's
not
true.
like
That's
if
true.
Bobby Wagner retires this offseason or he doesn't come back to the Commanders, they're going to win like 4 games again.
No.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, they're still going to be good. I think people have to keep in mind they went 12-5 in the same division of the Super Bowl champions, and they were in the race for the division up until like week 17.
Yeah.
And they won 4 games last year. So if they improved by 8 games, I can't imagine them not getting even better by next year.
That's true.
And they're going to find ways to, even if, they lose guys like Bobby Wagner or guys are getting old like Austin Eckler or stuff like that. Austin Eckler's not even their starting running back.
Nope.
Yeah.
So it's not like, they're losing prime Tom Brady to retirement.
Very true.
It's guys that are past their prime and they can be replaced. They're replaceable.
I would say if they could re-sign Zach Ertz because him and Jane had a connection.
He had a very good season.
I did not expect that from Zach Ertz. He put 100 yards against the Eagles.
Low-key, I thought he wasn't going to be good at all.
He had like 700 yards, a couple touchdowns. He had a great year.
Once the Eagles traded him a few years ago, I was like, all right, his career's probably over. Yeah.
And it felt like it was.
He'll get traded. He'll be on a practice squad. He might be on the roster the rest of the season, and then he won't sign with another team.
It really felt like it was.
Yeah, and we were wrong.
Well,
So
he's
here he is.
He's 34, 35 now.
I'm not sure how old he is, but he was balling out against his former team in the NFC Championship.
It was great.
Even though the rest of the team didn't, he did.
Yeah.
For sure. I think he had to have had like 100.
He did. He had, I think it was like 11 catches, 100 and something yards, something like that.
That's crazy.
That's great numbers for a tight end. That's really good. So yeah, and then if we go back to the Super Bowl, the Eagles then have the bomb down the field to Devonta Smith, great throw from Jalen Hurts, and 34-0. That's when you knew, all right, this game's over.
This game was over.
Now
There's no way.
Now it's over. And I know some people said, the game was over when it was 17-0. I think just because it was Mahomes at halftime, I won't lie, it was my birthday Sunday, and we had cake at halftime. And when I blew out the candles, my wish was for the Eagles to blow that lead.
Yeah.
I won't lie. I'm a hater. I won't lie.
It was a great kick, too. I thought it would work.
But I think, isn't the whole thing about making a wish that you're not supposed to tell anybody?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Well,
And then
your
my
mom
my
asked.
mom was like, "You wish for the Eagles to lose, didn't you?" I was like, "Yeah, I did." So I don't
Ruined
think.
it. There you have it. James jinxed the Chiefs.
I ruined the Chiefs dynasty. It's my fault. But I don't know if the Chiefs are winning that game anyways. It was.
You never know.
Yeah, you never know. But I think Mahomes had a good second half. It was just
He had a good fourth quarter. He was
he
still
threw 3 touchdowns in the second half.
Yeah, mostly in the fourth quarter.
It was mostly in garbage time.
Defense.
Yeah, but at least they made the score somewhat respectable. Losing by 18 is better than being down 34.
Yeah. Because just looking at the eye test of Mahomes' stats, it's like, okay, he didn't play that bad. 3 turnovers is not good, obviously. Never good. But it's not as bad as having, what was like 50 yards at halftime, 2 picks.
It was like 33 yards at halftime.
Yeah, they hadn't gotten into Eagles territory until one big play. I think it was Xavier Worthy.
Yeah.
That was in the third quarter, though, right?
That was in the third quarter. They hadn't been in Eagles territory since.
He had
thrown more yards to Cooper DeJean than he had his own team.
Yeah.
That's nuts. I didn't think about that. There was one play in the first half to DeAndre Hopkins that would have been a big gain, and he just it looked like right before the ball got there, he just tripped, and then he dropped it.
He just dropped it. He tried to one-hand it, and he dropped it.
Yeah, it was a very weird play, but I mean, I think that was the play where Chris Jones fell off the bench, and he was no. He fell over. Yeah.
It did not.
So, yeah, I would say congratulations to the Eagles, but I wouldn't mean it, so.
Congrats, Eagles.
Yeah,
I do mean it.
Whatever. Yeah. Dylan would be, I'm sure, very hyped
Jalen Hurts
here.
is a top 5 quarterback right now.
You don't really believe that, do you?
He's close. He's up there.
How close?
At least 7.
I don't like to consider myself a Jalen Hurts hater because I know there are a lot of them. I'm an Eagles hater. I'll admit that.
He's top 10 for sure.
I don't hate Jalen Hurts. I hate how some Eagle fans overrate him.
That's the same thing I had with Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz, he did nothing wrong to me. I just hate how people were talking about him.
I'll always love Carson Wentz because even though it was the last week of the season and meant nothing, when he was a Ram, he beat the 49ers.
Yeah.
So
he had 3 touchdowns.
You beat the 49ers, I'm going to love you. I don't care who you are.
He had 3 touchdowns too, right? He had a crazy game.
He had a good game, yeah. He threw a touchdown to Puka to put us on the board, and then he had a few we drew up a few running plays with him, and the game didn't matter because it was, looking back on it, Sam Darnold was the backup for the Niners that year, and he started that game because they had clinched the 1 seed, and now it looks like Sam Darnold's not really a backup quarterback.
Okay.
So that was a nice win from us, and we ended up losing the first round of the Lions, but whatever. I'll always love Carson Wentz for beating the 49ers. Respect. But, yeah, I think, Nick, where would you rank Jalen Hurts among quarterbacks right now?
It's hard to go by because you got to compare, because it's a team sport always. Because it's you put him on a different roster. Is does he have that as good of offensive line that he has in Philly. Doesn't have Saquon. Doesn't have AJ Brown, Devonta Smith. I was putting him top 15. I'll put him top 10 now. I'll put him top 10.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like you can't have a guy who won Super Bowl MVP out. No matter how much he deserved it or not, he still won it.
He deserved it, but I felt like it was just because everybody in the defense played equally as good, and just
Yeah, there was no like one game breaker because they all just played like lights
But Jalen
out.
Hurts was obviously the best player on offense. That was pretty
You
obvious.
could have given the MVP to anybody on that defense.
Yeah.
I think it could have been
But
anybody on the
it was
defense.
just too similar in stats. It was no. You had to like look at it.
Yeah, there was no one standout guy.
That's
you could
what I'm
pick.
saying,
Yeah,
yeah.
you
You
can't.
could have given it to DeJean because for the pick six,
Or like Josh Sweat had like two and a
sacks,
half
right?
sacks or something.
Joshua could have gotten it.
But it's normally going to go to the quarterback unless it's like, there's someone goes off.
Yeah.
Because I feel like
So.
I didn't hear Mitchell's name that much that game. They probably weren't throwing it to him that much, right? I don't believe so. Because you could also give it to him, but you can't. You're not going to give him MVP because there's no stats.
Yeah.
But
Right.
you're not throwing to him, so that's like
Right.
you could also give him MVP.
It would
but-
be hard for a corner to win Super Bowl MVP
Yeah.
unless you have like multiple interceptions with
That's
a pick
what I'm saying
six or
though. It's like
something.
you have to have like stats as a corner.
Right.
You can't just. It's kind of sucks though because you can't.
That you can't just lock somebody down.
You can't just lock somebody down and win an
Yeah.
award for Super Bowl
Yeah.
MVP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For defensive player, maybe, but most likely not.
Yeah.
But still, they balled out. It sucked to see, but they balled out.
Yeah, they did. What was I just gonna say? I think we should go through every QB in the NFL and see if he's better than Jalen Hurts or not.
Every single one.
Yeah,
Okay.
All of them. Okay.
and then we know where to rank him.
Okay.
So
I said
however
top 10.
many guys we say is better than him, we know where he's ranked among quarterbacks.
Okay.
We'll start with the NFC West. Brock Purdy. Is Jalen Hurts better than Brock Purdy?
Yes.
I agree. So you don't think so?
I think
I don't know about that.
I think he's better than Brock.
He's definitely better than Brock Purdy.
Brock
Oh,
I'm not
better
saying
than Brock. Whoa. Wait, better than Brock Purdy?
Yes.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. I thought you were saying Brock Purdy was better, and I was trying to.
No.
No.
He's better than Brock Purdy.
Geno Smith, he's better than Geno
Yes, I'd
Smith.
say he's better than Geno Smith.
He's better than Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he's
Yeah.
better than Matt Stafford.
They
not.
do different things for sure.
They different-
They're much different players, but he's not better than Matt Stafford.
Yes,
All
but
time.
You got to go by Jalen Hurts.
All time, he's not.
No.
All time, Matt Stafford's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, that's where I know. Calm down, bud. But
Chill on you, boy.
Matt Stafford's getting a little bit old. He's not
Are
bad.
you talking about like?
He is old,
Are you
but
talking about, like? Are you talking about who would you rather have on your team now? Because Jalen Hurts is 10 years younger. and
who's
you-
better
Yeah.
right now?
I think I'm just.
I don't know.
It's hard to
It's
go by.
close. It's close, but it might be.
I
Matt
prefer
Stafford.
Stafford.
close.
I prefer Stafford, but like I just said, you can't go against the Super Bowl MVP.
Think about it this way.
No,
If Matt
Yeah.
Stafford was on the Eagles with that
That's what I'm
Eagles
s-
team
that's
right
what I'm
now instead of
saying.
Jalen Hurts,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Said he edges him out.
yeah, Matt
I
Stafford's
would.
better
I
than
would
Jalen
agree
Hurts.
with that.
Dylan would be fuming over there.
He's not top 15. He's not top 15.
Yeah, I think
Matt
that's
Stafford
ridiculous.
sucks. He's not top 15.
It's all depends. Like we could clip this and then collaborate with some Eagles account on Instagram, and that all the comments would be Eagles fans calling me an idiot. And last time when Dylan said Stafford wasn't a top 10 quarterback, I collaborated on that clip with the Rams account, LA Rams Letter on Instagram. Shout out to them.
There you go.
All the comments were, these guys don't know what they're talking about. I don't know what we did, considering I'm a Rams fan. I was defending Stafford, but most of the people were like, the guy in the Eagles jersey doesn't know what he's talking about. But yeah, I would say Stafford is better than Hurts. So there's one QB better than
I
Hurts.
could say Stafford.
Let's go to the NFC North. Darnold is not better than Hurts.
No,
Jared Goff.
I would have. Are you talking about right now or this season with the playoffs included?
Who's better right now?
Right now,
I say Jared Goff, but
I think Goff has a better arm, but I just feel.
Goff
just-
definitely has better arm.
No,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
but like he just played. He did not have a good game in the divisional round.
he
It's
has
like-
every once in a while he just has a really bad game. It doesn't happen
he had
often,
two this year.
but
He
like
had
it
five
happens.
picks. Five picks
Yeah.
against was it Arizona? No, Houston. That was a rough game.
Hurts is also going to throw less picks because he throws the ball way less than Jared Goff.
Yeah,
Jared Goff throws the
that's
ball
true.
40-something
That's
times a
true.
game.
No, I know, true.
yeah, that's true.
So
I can give Jared Goff.
I would say Jared Goff is better. I think people are going to be
It's
infuriated
not by
with me
much.
saying
It's
that.
not by like.
People are going to call
It's
me
not by a
homer,
large
but-
margin. Same with Stafford. It's not like a large
I
margin.
think I would take Hurts.
Okay.
It's fair. I could also say Hurts. Like it's
Okay, so we're at like one or two QBs better than
you
Hurts
you
right
could put two on like the fringe, like asterisk on two.
now. Okay. Jordan Love.
No,
No,
Caleb Williams.
No.
no.
Dak Prescott.
No,
I love Dak. I just don't think
I wouldn't. No.
I would because I know that the Cowboys team is nowhere near as good as the Eagles team, and I've seen what Dak can do with Kellen Moore as his offensive coordinator, the highest scoring team in the league. Good O-line.
I think one way you have to think of it is pretend that that quarterback is on the Eagles and not Jalen Hurts. Would they be better or worse?
I think Dak would be better. I love Dak. People hate Dak. I think he's a good quarterback.
Dak is a good quarterback.
I just think he's been overshadowed by shitty coaches, historically bad playoff defenses.
Right.
I wouldn't.
Look, I'm not trying to make this list to hate on Jalen Hurts. I'm really not. I'm just trying to kind of get an understanding of where we rank him. Because I'm not trying to sit here and say Jalen Hurts is a bad quarterback or that he's mid. He's a good quarterback. I just don't think he's the top 5, generational talent like some Eagle fans think he is. And I don't think Dylan would even be letting us have this conversation if he were here right now.
No, he would say no to everybody.
Yeah. Jaden Daniels.
Not yet. Not
He
yet.
looks so good.
He will be, but not
Jaden
quite
Daniels is
yet.
better than Jalen Hurts.
Not yet.
He is.
His intangibles are already crazy.
If you put
so
Jaden
far.
Daniels on the Eagles, once again, are they better or worse?
They're better.
I don't know.
They're definitely better.
But it doesn't.
I don't know about
we're
that.
having this conversation, but it doesn't matter.
You
though.
were saying Jaden Daniels might be top 5 at the end of the regular season.
Yeah, he's close, but not quite better than Jalen. Jalen Hurts had a better postseason.
So you have Jalen Hurts top 5?
probably at 5. Yeah.
Okay. We'll keep going before I judge.
I put Jaden.
I say Jaden Daniels is better.
I just think because you look at rookie year, he's just gonna get better. He's just gonna get better.
Exactly.
He's
Exactly.
That's
just
what I
gonna
said
get
he
better.
will be, but he's not yet. If we're taking this season, just this season, not his future, then not yet. I wouldn't say yet.
Oh, okay. Well, I'd rather have Jaden Daniels on my team in the future.
Yeah, obviously.
If I could pick
That's what
any,
I'm
if
saying
I
he'll
could
be
pick any,
better
if I could
in the
pick any
future, but he's
quarterback in the
not
league to
quite
have
there
for my
yet.
future team, it's Jaden Daniels.
Not Mahomes.
Jaden Daniels, is what, 6 years younger?
Mahomes is like already one of the best quarterbacks of all time.
Sure,
I'd
but
rather
I'm saying
have
build
10
a
years of
team.
Mahomes than 15,
20.
17 of Jaden Daniels.
I mean, you don't know that yet.
I don't know. I'm just talking about what I saw. You see,
I mean, right now you
so
would.
good.
I would take. I mean,
That's
come
fair.
on.
That's fair.
Yeah.
If you're starting, let's say there was like a redraft in the NFL, you got the first pick. You're telling me you're not taking Mahomes?
Okay, but we're also going to compare. Remember how we're comparing teams with Jalen Hurts too? Look at Jaden's team and look at the Chiefs. Look what Jaden Daniels did. He's just going to get better. He's just going to get
You're
better.
saying he's better than Mahomes?
No. I'm not saying that.
So you
I'm not
take
sa-
Mahomes.
But he's 6-7 years younger, and he's just going to get better.
But Mahomes is already like you could rank Mahomes top 3 quarterbacks of all time.
Sure, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I love.
So you got to take him.
You can take him. It's your team.
If Tom Brady was still in the league and he was like 35, you would take him over Jaden Daniels right now, right?
You're saying okay.
Come on.
Am I in win now mode or am I in rebuilding mode? What am I doing?
Facts. It's a different situation.
It's a different situation. I can't-
It's not like Mahomes is like 40.
No, I
No.
get that, but I'm
So-
saying if I'm in win now mode, I'm taking Mahomes. If I'm in rebuilding mode, I'm taking Jaden Daniels. That's just the argument there.
I don't know. I don't think I'd take any quarterback in the league. I definitely wouldn't take any quarterback in the league over Mahomes. I don't care what the situation
I
is.
would take Josh.
It's your team. It's your team.
That's not ridiculous. I would take Mahomes over him, but I think that's the only guy I would take over Josh Allen. Maybe Joe Burrow, but probably Josh Allen over
Fair
Burrow.
enough.
But
We'll see.
okay, back to the list. Any Giants quarterback not better than Jalen Hurts?
Nope.
Baker Mayfield?
No.
I like Baker a lot,
I love Baker. I love me some Baker Mayfield.
but doesn't matter. Eagles won Super
I
Bowl. so who
love me
cares?
some Baker Mayfield, man. I don't know.
I think he had a bit of a turnover problem this year,
Yeah.
and that's
Throws the ball a lot more than
there's a lot more.
Hurts, though, I feel like.
He does.
Yeah.
True.
So I'll leave this one up to you, Nick. He says no.
Nuh-uh.
I'm on the fence. I'll leave this up to
I'm
you.
also on the fence on that one. It's just hard to go by because, like, I know he played good enough to win the Super Bowl. It's just hard.
Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback.
He's a good quarterback.
He's
Very
a
good
Super Bowl
quarterback.
champ.
Super Bowl MVP.
But if you put Baker Mayfield on the Eagles, are the Eagles better? Cody says no. I hate to say yes just because I don't want to hate on Hurts, but at the same time, you put Hurts on the Bucks. How many games are they winning? They still win in 10 games? More than that? Less than that?
Who knows?
It's
I
tough,
think
It's
less.
tough to go by that because Mike Evans and Godwin were both out for a good portion of the year.
And they
that year.
still found ways to win games and win their division.
How good is that division, really?
True. Fair
They
enough.
were 10-7.
Yeah.
It's a weak
10-7 's
division,
not
though.
bad.
They were a playoff team.
It's a
Yeah.
very weak division, though. They are a playoff team, though. They're solid enough.
Yes, weak division.
Very
but
weak division.
not Baker's fault.
No,
So. I'll let you decide. Baker or Hurts?
I'll do Baker.
Okay. So that's 5 quarterbacks better than Hurts that we have.
Yeah.
You guys are bums. I have barely won.
You're just saying that because he beat the Chiefs.
I am saying that because he beat the Chiefs.
Bryce
He beat
Young.
the Chiefs?
No.
No.
Derek Carr.
No.
Kirk Cousins or
No. Michael
Penix.
Penix.
No.
Okay.
Penix is, yeah, no, we don't know yet.
All right, let's go to the AFC. So that's 5 in the NFC that are better than Hurts. So Hurts is the 6th best quarterback in the NFC, according to us.
According to them.
That's why I said us. Where would you have him in the NFC then?
I might have put him at the best, maybe. I don't know.
Better than-
Which is crazy to say.
Better than Stafford?
I don't think he's that good, but maybe. He's top 3 at least for me.
Top 3 quarterback in the NFC, I'm not going to argue with. I think you can definitely make a case for that.
No.
I think I know people are going to call me biased, but I think the only quarterback you can't make an argument for Hurts being better than the NFC is Stafford. I think you can make an argument that he's better than any other quarterback. I think if it was close, we were giving it to the other QB for our list. Like,
It's just Hurts
I think
is
it's close to
Hurts
Baker,
is a
it's
better
close to Goff.
scrambler. Stafford's a better pocket passer. It's just,
Yeah. Different situations.
If they were the
different
same
things.
age, who
you
you
know,
taking?
now we can compare.
If they were the same age, very different story. Yeah.
You're taking Matt Stafford.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah,
He'd be more,
100%.
yeah, because he's more mobile. Yeah, for sure.
Matt Stafford
he'd be a lot
at
more mobile.
Jalen Hurts' age was better than Jalen Hurts is now.
Yes.
And I still think Matt Stafford's better.
Yeah. But right now, you got to think about it differently.
If I'm starting a franchise, I'm not
Jalen
drafting
Hurts.
Stafford,
No,
most
no,
likely.
you're taking Jalen Hurts.
Unless I have to win the Super Bowl this year. Like, I have to. It's like a one-year thing. I'm taking Stafford over Hurts. I'm sorry. If I'm rebuilding a team,
Hurts.
I'm taking Hurts because Stafford might have 1 year left in the NFL. And then I have to redraft
Yeah.
another quarterback. Unless I'm going all in.
Honestly, I think Stafford had a better year this year. I think, that's not really.
Stafford the last 2 years started slow, and then I would, like, halfway through the year, I said, like, I would talk to my dad about it, and I'm like, man, Stafford's just really not having a good year, and I feel like nobody's talking about it. And then after that, he would turn up. Like, he had, I think it was after like, halfway through the season, he had, like, the same amount of picks as touchdown passes.
Yeah.
And then the second half of the season, he threw, like, 1 pick, and he was great.
It's turned up.
Our offense struggled a little bit in the last few games of the season, but he also had like broken ribs. So
Yeah,
that's
it's not-
kind of
that's
a
not good.
no, it's not. But on to the AFC for the quarterbacks, comparing them to Hurts. We'll start it with the East. Rodgers, no. Drake May, no.
Nope.
Tua, no. Josh Allen,
Allen,
yes.
Josh
Yep.
Allen's yes.
So that's 6.
Obviously.
Uh,
I maybe last year because I had a big problem with Josh Allen throwing so many picks, but he fixed it. I can't say it now.
he's the MVP.
He was MVP.
the
He threw what, 6 picks this year?
Yeah, something.
That's
less
great. That's a great number.
Yeah.
I can stop talking
There you go.
like down about Josh Allen now. He
Yeah,
fixed the
no.
problem.
You did.
Come on.
He's the GOAT.
Absolutely.
The best.
AFC North, Joe Burrow is better than Jalen
Yep.
Hurts.
Yep.
Lamar is better than Jalen Hurts.
Yes.
Fair enough. Russ, I would say no.
Russ, no.
And then
Deshaun Watson, no.
or
Jameis Winston.
I prefer Jameis Jameis Winston over Deshaun Watson, but still no.
The third guy they
Oh,
got,
Robson-
the
no.
rookie.
Dorian.
Oh,
No.
DTR?
Yeah, DTR. There you go.
Not today. Not tonight.
No. No. AFC South, Trevor Lawrence, no.
No.
Anthony Richardson.
No.
No.
CJ Stroud, yes.
I would have said yes, but he played.
What? He had a rough
bad
year.
year.
He had a
bad
rough
year.
year.
Bad year.
He didn't have a bad year, but he didn't have a great
No.
He
year.
didn't have an MVP year, but CJ,
It was a rough year.
It was a
you're
rough
starting
year
your
for him.
franchise. CJ Stroud and
You're
Jalen
saying
Hurts are on the board.
Last year, yes. This year, maybe not.
Yeah, last
I
year-
don't know.
last year he had
I
a
think
good
Jalen
year.
Hurts over CJ Stroud?
it really depends on how he plays next year. If he stays in this slump,
Because
Yeah.
like you said,
I'm
you
taking Jalen Hurts.
got to imagine them on the Eagles team. It's just hard to do that. It's just you can't.
I don't know. He didn't have a great year.
I'm taking CJ Stroud.
I would have
over
taken Hurts. I would have taken Hurts this year.
Taking Hurts.
in a heartbeat. I'm sorry, but
Fair enough, but I would take Hurts.
that's not for me. Wait, who are you taking?
I would take Hurts this year.
Oh.
He just had a rough year.
Okay.
If I'm going by rookie season, if he played like he did his rookie year, I would have taken Stroud. He did not do that.
All right, I'm outvoted. We won't count Stroud, even though I think that's kind of crazy. And then,
Herbert.
gosh,
No, it's,
no. Titans. Why? Will Levis? No.
No, absolutely not.
All right, so
I
we're
thought
down
we-
to the last
I
division.
forgot about the Titans. They just
We have
no reason there.
8 QBs that we have voted
Better.
be better than Hurts.
Okay.
Mahomes,
We're just
yes.
down in the West, right? What else do we have? Just the West.
We just have the West, AFC West. So Mahomes, yes. So that's
9.
9 quarterbacks
So
better
he's
than Hurts.
10.
Herbert, yes.
Yeah.
He had
Yeah.
a rough last game.
He had a
So
terrible-
it's so
Cody,
playoff.
John, you're not telling me Hurts is better than Herbert.
All I said, he had a rough last game. That's all I said.
But he's a top 5 quarterback
choice.
in the league.
In the regular season, yes.
'Cause are we doing regular season or doing playoffs now?
We're doing
Yeah.
who's a better quarterback.
If I'm making a playoff run, I don't want Justin Herbert.
He had,
he-
he had a really bad game.
He had a bad
It was-
game this
Come
year.
on.
He collapsed against
Jalen Hurts is
the
not better than
Jaguars.
Justin Herbert. Come on.
He's not great in the playoffs. If he turns it around in the playoffs next year,
Justin Herbert
I'll
doesn't even
gladly
have like
take
a
him.
good team around them, and they still made the playoffs. They weren't even supposed to be a playoff team this year.
that's true.
Were they not?
He is
Even with Harbaugh.
He has better coaching. That's it. Hurts has better everything. He has better defense backing him up. He has the best offensive line in
No,
football.
obviously.
You're
much
right.
better receiving core.
That's
Justin
okay.
Herbert is much better than Jalen Hurts. Right?
That's fair. Okay, I'll do
So
Herbert.
that's 10. And then
No and no.
any Raiders
Knicks,
quarterback, no. And then
and then Knicks now.
Bo Nix,
Had
not
a
yet.
good rookie year. No.
So that would put
11.
Jalen Hurts at the 11th best quarterback in the NFL.
And we honestly, do you have them all marked down here or no?
He's at like my 5th. I think I had. I
Mahomes
counted
killer over here.
5.
I think there are several guys that we put ahead of Hurts that you could argue Hurts is
There's
better
definitely
than.
a few. There's definitely
But
a few.
I don't think there's that many.
Like, so he's top 10.
I think
As we-
the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL right now: Mahomes,
Sure.
Allen,
Sure.
Burrow,
Mhm.
Herbert, and then
Lamar.
fine,
But he
fine.
Jaden Daniels.
I'm not. That's not ridiculous.
Not ridiculous
That's not
to say
ridiculous to say that. I really don't think it's ridiculous. I have a feeling we're gonna get flamed for our list, but that's fine. That's
Can we go over who we had ahead of him?
I do
If you
not
in no order.
condone this
Yeah, he's like-
list.
he's like, I'm
I
marking
am
this,
not
it's
a
not
part
me.
of this.
In no order, we had. Well, okay. You guys said Hurts is better than C.J. Stroud. Are we saying C.J. Stroud's not a top 10 quarterback in the NFL? Because that's crazy.
He wasn't this year.
I'd have C.J. Stroud in my top 10 above some of the guys you had above.
Yeah,
Jalen Hurts.
But you have Hurts
his
even
list-
above them.
Yeah.
His list evens
I-
out though because he didn't
That's
count a few of
okay.
them.
But
This year, if he played the same way he did his rookie year, then I would have said yes. He did not have a great year. It was a rough season for him.
I don't know. I mean, I think you just have to look at who's more talented. I'd say C.J.
Sure,
Stroud.
you can. We can do that about anybody. We do that.
That's what we're saying, though. Who's the better quarterback?
I'm just saying, he had a bad year. It's hard to do
year.
that though because is he going to regress again or is he going to bounce back?
It's
from
hard
the
to
slump?
know what they're going to do next year.
All right. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Can you-
Well-
I will admit the Texans were not as good as I thought they'd be.
No, Texans were.
The Texans won their division, but it was probably the weakest division in football. That division stunk.
Yes.
The Colts were in second place, and they won like 7
Yeah.
games or 8 games, whatever it was.
I think that's
Yeah,
That was
the
the weakest-
Jaguars were terrible. The Titans were terrible.
Yeah, that was a rough
AFC
division
That's
this year.
that's the worst division in football.
yeah.
This year it was.
I'd say behind it, AFC East was pretty weak this year.
Yeah, the rest of the AFC besides Buffalo.
Yeah, but the
And-
Bills were almost in the Super Bowl, so they carry that division.
Well,
Like-
yeah, but you could say that about any division that has a Super Bowl. Like you say that about the AFC East when Brady's there. It's still a weak division.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. But you could
No.
argue that the Texans wouldn't have been a playoff team in like any other division
Yeah.
because they had 10 wins. How many of those wins were against the Jags, Titans, and Colts? Probably like 5, maybe all 6.
They lost to the Colts. I think they lost to the Colts once and they lost to the Jags once.
Okay, so almost half their wins were against that division.
Yeah.
Not trying to discredit the Texans.
The Colts are fine. It's just the Texans or the Titans and the Jags are not good.
They were 10-7 Stroud's rookie year. They won a playoff game. They beat the Browns, and they lost in the second round. I really had higher expectations for them this year. I thought they would be like a 12-win team at least.
They were on a good projection in the beginning, then they lost to the Jets and it kind of fell apart.
I really thought
they
like
started off when they beat the Bills, which was week
Five?
week 5,
It was
they
in
were
Houston,
4
right?
and, yeah, they were 4-1 after they beat the Bills. And then
They
I
did beat
think
the Bills on that field goal, right?
yeah.
That division knows how
Low
to crumble.
key, Josh Allen
Jacksonville last year was
kind
bad.
of played really. That was like his worst game this season,
Yeah,
probably.
I remember
Actually,
that.
the Ravens game was also
That first
a bad
Ravens game was not good.
That was just a
but
bad game for your whole team.
Yeah, I think individually, Josh Allen didn't have a great game against the Texans.
Yeah. But speaking of Josh Allen,
MVP,
our NFL MVP,
the GOAT.
Cody, your thoughts?
I think that he deserved it. Obviously, I'm very biased, but you could have given it to Lamar or even Joe Burrow for sure could have gotten it. It's just team success obviously weighs in as such a huge factor that he was never going to win it. And I think Saquon should have won it probably, but a running back's never going to win that award again. I don't think that's going to happen. If Saquon didn't win it, it's not going to happen.
I was going to say the same thing Cody said. Saquon should have been MVP.
I
I believe that 100%.
I think it all depends on how you. It's hard because the name of the award is most valuable player.
I think he was.
And that's why it always goes to a quarterback because that's the most valuable position.
Yeah.
If you take Josh Allen off the Bills and you put their backup QB in, who's it, Trubisky?
Yeah, Mitch Trubisky. What a
Trubisky on the
guy.
Bills. They win 4 games,
Not that many games.
right?
6 at most.
You take Barkley off the Eagles, they win less games,
Yeah.
but they're better than the Bills without Josh Allen.
But
That's
now,
true. That's very true.
but,
Josh Allen is a more valuable player to
but
his team.
You have to look at
Yeah.
it like this way. Saquon made the Super Bowl and won it.
That's true. But I think
just-
that he would have gotten the award if he had played that last week and gotten the record.
Well,
If
Honestly, I'm glad.
too bad he didn't.
yeah, too bad.
Honestly, you know what? I'm kind of glad he didn't. He could break it again next year too. I'm glad he didn't. He didn't have to do it in 17 games because people would have said it's not a real record. It doesn't count.
He
They
played the
would've-
same amount of games as Dickerson.
Exactly.
And
No, no,
Dickerson
I'm saying,
had
if-
like
if he-
100 more yards.
If he played 17, if he played 17 games and he broke it, then he was playing the Giants. He would have 100% broke it. 100%
Yes.
broke it.
Yes, I agree.
It would have been. People would not have has viewed it as. I don't know what's the right word. It's not as legitimate because you play that one extra game.
Right. It still counts because that's the way the NFL is
Yeah.
nowadays. But I agree. They
So
played
I'm
an extra game.
glad Saquon didn't break it in that fashion, but I
Right.
still think he is the MVP of the league, without a doubt.
I think if the name of the award was Player of the Year, it goes to Barkley. If the name of the award is Most Valuable Player, who's most valuable to their team,
Josh
it goes
Allen's
to
for
Josh
sure.
Allen.
Yeah, he's for sure the most valuable player too.
And that's what I think some people forget. Like I remember the year the Rams went to the Super Bowl when I was in like 8th grade, Todd Gurley was an MVP finalist. And I thought he should have won. But looking back at it, Tom Brady won it. Tom Brady is a more valuable player to the Patriots than Todd Gurley was to the Rams, as much as I love Gurley.
sure.
yeah.
But I
That's-
think that's the reason people always complain that a quarterback wins it, but that's the most valuable position. If you want a quarterback to not win it, you have to rename the award. I don't know.
Yeah, rename the
I've-
award or have an all-time season.
Yeah, or like we do in the NJFL, quarterback of the year.
Facts.
Wide receiver of the year.
Wide receiver of the year.
Quarterback of the year could have been
NFL
Josh
take
Allen,
notes.
and then MVP
I was robbed.
Barkley.
I wasn't eligible. Fix the rules. I won all
Yeah.
my awards.
I think you could also look at it the fact that Philly fell apart last year. Like they blew up. They
They did blow after
were
they beat the Bills.
11-2. It's just the whole season ended.
Yeah, they beat
Yeah,
the Bills in
they were-
overtime and then
they were
went
10
to
and
lose
1.
every game after that.
And
They were 10-1 and finished 11.
the Bucks
6.
smoked them, and it was over.
Yeah,
Saquon comes.
Baker Mayfield.
They start off. Huh?
Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, that's true. He's not rolling with Baker Mayfield, but Eagles start 2-2 this year.
Yeah, and they go into the bye. Their whole fan base wanted Sirianni dead, and
Yeah.
That did
then
happen, yeah.
And
Yeah.
now he's going to be not dead until they go 2-2 again next year.
until they're like 10-1 next year, and they lose that one game, and they're like, "Fire Sirianni, burn down the city, we're done."
We wanted an undefeated
Do we know
season.
the schedules next year or no?
Yeah.
You know the opponents, but not.
You
yeah,
want
not-
to see what the Eagles' record could be next year?
Sure.
We'll see.
This is really an Eagles hate podcast, isn't it?
No, not necessarily.
not
I'm just-
hate.
I
love the
I just
Eagles.
said Saquon should be MVP. I don't think it's a hate podcast at all.
You guys are hating.
Heck is going on.
James
in
is
the-
I
hating.
just said Saquon should be MVP, and I'm hating.
You're right. You're right.
Now the Super Bowl winner that pissed me off, but Saquon Barkley.
Let's see.
Um,
Where all they put
yeah, someone else can pull it up.
Yeah, I'm looking. They posted so much Super Bowl stuff. What a bunch of bombs.
Dang, Dylan misses one episode and we do a whole anti-Eagles podcast.
He's gonna be.
I am not
pissed.
anti-Eagles. I would like to.
I am.
Please don't kill me. I live too close to Philly. I don't even know where it is.
And like I
Also-
said, I'm not hating on Hurts, but I'm just giving my honest opinion.
So I think from our ranking, the assessment is correct. He is top 10. I think top 10 is fair.
I think it's around there.
Yeah, around there, around top 10.
Okay.
Because some of those guys we could have just said no. Like we could have said no.
We could have, but we didn't.
I'm just we still can. We go back.
No, we
It's
can't.
okay.
I just gotta look it up on Google.
Yeah, look up the Eagles schedule. Yeah. So, do we know? We know who they're playing. We know if they're home or away. We don't know the order, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's hear it, Cody.
The Bills
Where
loss at
What-
Buffalo. Loss.
I'm gonna give that win to the Bills.
if it was
So-
in Philly, I would give it to Philly.
0
It's
and
in
1.
Buffalo. Is that week? That's
Are
not
we
week
doing
one,
all
though.
their away games first?
I'm just going in order. Has it on here?
Okay. Okay.
At-
So 0-1.
At Dallas, they win 1-1.
Yep.
At at Green Bay, I think
they
I
take
think
it.
they take
They
that
take
one.
it.
They take that one. 2-1. At Kansas City, that's gonna be a good game.
Dude, I forget what account it was on Instagram, but there was like someone giving hot takes for next season. And one of them was that the Chiefs missed the playoffs. I'm like, bro,
That's
what?
crazy.
That's a-
Miss the
What?
playoffs is crazy. I can see them taking a step down from this season because
Yeah.
obviously 15-1
It's hard to get better.
or 16-1.
They were 15-2, and
15
one
and
of them they
2,
benched
yeah.
their starters because they had the one seed locked up.
Yeah.
They were 15-2 with one legit loss, and they made the Super Bowl. How can you say they're not going to make the playoffs? That would
Yeah.
be quite
I would
the
say
Super Bowl
Philly-
hangover.
I would say Philly's 3-1.
Yeah, I think Philly could take that one for sure. I could see it going either way. But I could see Philly taking it. It's also hard because I feel like they're gonna lose a lot. Philly's gonna lose a lot of people. But if they keep their current team,
They already lost
take-
Kellen Moore though, so that's a tough loss for them.
Yeah, he's the Saints head coach.
Saints.
Right?
Yes.
Won the Super Bowl, took a plane right to New Orleans. Or no, he's already there. He didn't have to move.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
You have
was
to
already
move.
there.
I'll take the Chiefs. So I got
Yeah,
them at
that's-
2-2.
All right,
That's
so
all
right.
I got
Not
3-1.
ridiculous to say the Eagles win that game.
At Chargers, I think they
Win.
win that game.
3-2.
4-1.
At
Yeah.
Minnesota,
4-2.
yep.
5. I think 5-1.
Well, yeah.
Oh, we
Yeah,
can see
yeah.
over
Yeah. Yeah.
At Giants,
6. Yeah.
Yeah. 5-2.
versus Dallas. So now I guess
7.
it's
6-2.
7, yeah.
the Giants again.
8.
7-2. This is the thing. They get to play the Giants twice a year.
Washington,
Where?
there, in Philly.
Win.
Win.
Chicago in Philly.
Win.
Detroit in Philly.
Win.
Yeah.
Yeah. Denver in Philly.
Win.
Raiders in Philly.
Win. This is not a hard schedule.
Rams in Philly. I think that's a win if you guys don't have Cooper Kupp anymore, and maybe not. It depends on if Matt Stafford comes.
We
or
never
what's
seem
his
to
rate.
beat them for some reason. So I'll give them a win.
Same.
At Tampa Bay.
They tend to struggle against the Bucks. I'm going Bucks.
That could be, yeah, they could for sure drop a game. I think they still win that. And at Washington, you got to drop one of those.
I think
At
those are
Washington,
yeah, you got,
L.
yeah, you got to drop one at
So
least.
I have them at like 14-3.
Yeah, something
And I
like
had them
that.
at 13-4. So yeah.
Yeah, 14-3, 13-4, somewhere out there.
Yeah, they're going to be good again. There's no doubt about it. I just,
Cowboy schedule.
oh boy.
0-17.
Did you see the 49ers schedule? Their schedule was really easy.
That's one thing I'm worried about. I don't like to give the 49ers credit, but they were banged up this past year. They did have games where they had their main guys and still weren't good. So I don't think they're going to be like a Super Bowl contender next year, but
I think they'll make the playoffs for sure.
they have such an easy schedule because they came in last. And one thing that does worry me, they have that easy of a schedule. Let's say they get a cakewalk to win the NFC West, right? At like 12-5, 13-4, just because they play nobody. The Super Bowl's in San Francisco. I don't like that.
Foreshadowing.
I didn't even think about that.
I don't like that at all. I don't. I want nothing more than like the Rams that win the Super Bowl in San Francisco.
That'd be crazy.
Us celebrating on their field, bro,
Would be crazy.
would be the best thing ever. I would rather win the Super Bowl in San Francisco than win it in LA. I think that would be so great. That's like for baseball this year, the Dodgers got to celebrate in Yankee Stadium. That's the only stadium that I would rather them win on the road than at home. And that same thing applies to the Rams. I would rather them win the Super Bowl in San Francisco than LA.
It's crazy how big of a hater you are.
Dude, it's the Niners though.
Yeah,
it's not
I
like
know.
I'm saying
I'm
like
just saying it's
the
funny how much you
Jaguars or
hate
something.
teams.
I do have a strong hatred for the Rangers, 49ers, and Yankees.
Generational hater.
But
So,
yeah,
speaking of the Rangers, hockey's coming up.
we are not talking about
I'm not talking about the Rangers.
on this podcast.
I just meant hockey.
Four
Calm
nations,
down.
baby. Four
Four
nations.
nations.
Speaking of being a hater, I don't even know who to root for.
Yeah, because you're such
Sam
a hater.
Harrison.
You won't root
Sam
for our
Harrison.
own damn country.
Dude, they have 3 Rangers and no Flyers. What am I supposed to do?
You live here.
There's no Flyers. And then Canada has 2 Flyers, but they also have Crosby, so I can't root for them.
2-1 though. Oh,
Yeah, but Crosby's like,
Yeah, true.
He's good though.
no, he's not.
he's
no,
not.
he's
Sidney Crosby's good.
not. He's
He's
never
bad.
accomplished anything.
Okay.
Sweden has.
Just go Sweden.
Yeah,
Just go Sweden.
Honestly, I do. hope
Sweden
they win.
is crazy.
I'm watching the championship with that with Mayor Media, and I don't even know who I'm gonna be.
It's gonna be
rooting for.
Sam
They're
Harrison.
gonna be like rooting hard for USA if they're in it. And I'm just gonna be like, no. Like,
Go Sweden.
Yeah. Let's go Finland.
I love IKEA.
no,
Yeah,
no
they-
Risto
they-
for Finland
Risto.
anymore. No Risto.
Oh, that's right. He's not in it anymore. That stinks. Give me your picks. Who's gonna win? Who's gonna be in the finals and who's gonna win? Give me your predictions.
I think US is gonna make the finals
Okay.
because they have the best goalie tandem out of all of them.
Right.
The tandem was disgusting.
I'm gonna
Okay.
be honest. I really don't know how this tournament works. So,
I'm-
Who's playing who? Like,
I
and when?
I think it's just. I don't
James,
even know
did
how the
you-
bracket works. I
Did you
think
ever
it's
see?
just.
I don't know if you
like-
saw the meme for it. They were saying propose for the 4 nations. You have 2 ranks, like across each other.
I didn't see that. That would.
That
be-
would
It was a joke, but it was like
that
it's-
would be
like an
crazy.
X. That would be nasty. That'd be sick.
Oh, you mean like 1v1v1v1?
Yeah,
like they're
yeah,
all
yeah,
playing each
like
other.
an
No,
X.
like I don't know because it was just a stupid drawing, but they were saying one game's going this way, one game's going this way.
So
Oh, yeah.
still
That'd be tough.
Okay, that's crazy.
That would be tough. But
I would say Canada versus US, but I don't know if they like play each other before the finals or whatever.
'Cause
well,
I
I
don't know-
think it's just seeding them based on like they have pool play and then they
Yeah, because
are seeded.
there's no elimination. It's just like because everyone's has their set matchups already.
I don't think there's like divisions or anything.
No.
Okay.
So I think it's possible for any
Here,
2 teams
let's-
to play in the finals.
Okay, then yeah.
'Cause what's
US
tonight's
wins versus
Canada's-
Canada in the finals.
What's tonight? Canada and Sweden
Does it start tonight?
starts tonight.
What?
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
we're watching then. We're going to your house. I decided.
Okay, that's fine with me.
I believe it's Canada and Sweden.
Okay. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Go Sweden. I'll take.
Such a hater.
I am a hater because it's the Rangers. I love my country, don't get me wrong, but when there's Rangers
Traitor.
and there's no Flyers, I'm not rooting for them. No way. But give me Canada to win the whole thing against USA.
It's very valid.
Nick, did you make your pick?
I think I said USA because of their goalies.
Right, you did say that. Yeah.
I gotta look at the teams though. I would say probably honestly, I'll say USA over Sweden.
Wow, no Canada.
Mm.
It could be Canada. It's always could be Canada.
It definitely could be, but
It could be anybody.
Could be anybody.
okay. So you say USA over Sweden. You say USA
Because
over
think about
Canada.
it.
I say Canada
Is Crosby,
over USA.
is Crosby a guarantee? Is he playing?
He's playing, I thought.
He's
Yeah,
playing
he
because
said.
he was hurt.
He said he was playing.
Dude, it was so funny. I don't think I told you this, but I accidentally convinced Jack that Crosby's like trash at hockey.
Oh, you
Oh, no.
Like just because I'm always saying like Crosby sucks, I hate him. So he just like I guess heard me say that too many times and figured Crosby actually sucks. So he was texting me about like a hockey bet because he doesn't know that much about hockey yet. We're trying to get Jack to. He's a
Yeah.
Flyers fan. We're trying to get him into hockey, right? And he texts me like, "Are any of these guys good? Like, should I bet on them?" And I was like, I said like this guy's good, blah blah blah, and he was like, yeah, I was gonna bet on Crosby, but I figured he's not very good. And I was like, well,
About that.
you know,
Oh,
he might
hold
be
on,
my
I'm
least
sorry.
favorite human ever,
I'm
but
sorry.
I don't know if he's that bad at hockey. So, what were you saying, Nick?
I'm just looking at the rosters right now.
Canada and USA are stacked.
I think
would
I
be
think
surprised
I
if
think
they
Finland's
won
the weak. I think Finland's the weakest.
I agree because they don't have Ristolainen.
They don't have his line. I like Sweden's defensive core. Looks pretty good so far. Sam
Yeah.
Larsson.
Sammy, he'll probably get hurt in the first game.
Probably will.
Is he what their third string
Yeah.
goalie?
I don't know how they're gonna do it though. I don't know if he's gonna play tonight.
I hope
'cause
he gets to play. You know,
he's been on fire.
he has been playing very well for the Flyers, even
He
though
has-
the Flyers
he has-
haven't.
I saw he has the 10th best save percentage since 2025 began.
Wow,
Yeah.
it's pretty good.
912.
Speaking of the Flyers, we got Cody to be a Flyers fan. So
Somehow, some way, they did it.
yeah, we got Cody to be a Flyers fan. We're getting Jack to be a Flyers fan. The fan base is growing, ladies and gentlemen. So
We got our own team in New Jersey, and somehow I'm a Flyers fan.
yeah, oh well. I won't hate anymore on any other team.
All right, I'm final decision.
Jack
USA beats
Hughes,
Sweden.
Luke Hughes.
Sweden, okay. Yeah, but we got Cody to be a Flyers fan, and then once he became a fan, he started watching games with us, and they went 0-5 in their first 5 games since he became a fan. We were like, Cody, I don't know, dude. Like, this is not good.
It's
Thankfully, they
Jack's
beat
fault, not mine.
They beat and since Jack became a fan, we were 0-5. Since the two of you became Flyers fans, and I was like, maybe this was a mistake. Maybe they're just not good luck. But thankfully, they beat the Penguins Saturday night, and of course, they finally win a game, and they don't play for 2 weeks.
Yep.
I hate that. The Four Nations face-off thing, I'm sure, will be cool, but I don't like the fact that I can't watch my favorite team play for 2 weeks. There's no Flyers or Dodgers for me for 2
You
whole
got
weeks.
the Lakers with Luca.
That's true. I can't really complain. But and no football. That sucks.
I'm already ready for next year.
Facts.
Already ready.
I just want baseball season to come. Spring training around the corner. Pitchers and catchers reporting. I think pitchers and catchers report for
Shohei's
the
pitching
Dodgers
again?
tomorrow.
Yeah, I was.
Shohei should be pitching around
I was
May.
gonna say he's not doing anything for
Ah.
the Japan tournament or the Japan series.
Um,
Because I was gonna
Maybe
ask.
he'll come in. You never know.
no, I don't think so.
Because is he slated to start like pitching beginning of the year or like midway
Like May.
through? May. Okay.
So,
First pitch,
Yeah.
Tommy John.
bro, there's a very long list of guys who have come back from Tommy John surgery and their stats are not great. It's very hard to come back from Tommy John and be successful, but
Can't bet against Shohei.
yeah, if there's anybody that's going, I hate to, I know I'm going to sound like a homer because I'm a Dodgers fan, but if there's anybody that's going to come back from Tommy John and still be elite, it would be Shohei Ohtani. So we'll see what happens. It was a crazy week of sports. The Eagles are Super Bowl champions. Eagles fans, congratulations. If you haven't turned off our podcast from me saying certain guys are better than Hurts, but congratulations to Dylan and Eagles fans, and we will see you guys next week. Follow our TikTok, our Instagram. It's all in our bio or link tree or whatever. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much for watching.
Bye.